Hello there, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. Welcome to another Stamping Sunday. Now, if you've been wondering where I've been from these blog hops, it's because we've had to kind of do a bit of a shimmy of the groups, and anyway, basically I've not got used to the new when we're having it. So I'm filming this ahead of time, in good time, hopefully to make sure that I join in this time. Anyway, do go and check the link to my blog post, because the blog post will also have all the links to all the other blog hoppers in this Stamping Sunday blog hop. So this month's theme is You've Been Framed, which kind of, reminds me of a fabulous TV program that used to be on, anyway, never mind, it's gone now. But here I am today showing you how to create a frame on a card if you have some kind of set of dies that are concentric. So if they have, they go up in size or down in size. So today I'm using the decal edged rectangles, which is a fabulous sort of great set if you're just needing to create a fancy bit of a border around a piece of your focal point, but also with a little bit of a nifty trick you can create your own kind of like frame. So I have used, if you're counting from the largest going in, so the largest being number 1, I'm using number 4 and number 6, so I'm skipping out number 5. I'm using 4 and 6, and what I've already done ahead of time is I have stuck down a piece of washi tape across the two of them, making sure that I have a space in between. And actually looking at that, I think I might just need to shunt the middle one over a little bit because it's not quite right. But anyway, I've put washi tape across it, and then if you're wondering what this brown tape is, it's basically parcel tape. And the reason I've put that on top of the washi tape is so that it kind of holds together if I want to use it multiple times, and which I may want to do. And also another reason I've put it on top of the washi tape is because the washi tape is just tacky, so it's not going to damage my cardstock when I run it through. But if I put tape on, sticky tape is designed to stick to card and never come off unless you rip it, and so that's why I'm protecting also my piece of cardstock that I'm going to be using. So I've pre-cut myself a card base, and this is pecan pie. Then I've cut a matting layer of early espresso and then crumb cake, and I'm going to be doing some stamping on this one, but what I'm going to do is, to save myself using up lots of cardstock, I'm actually going to cut my frame from the early espresso section here. So I'm going to try and move this over because, as I said, I think it's not quite as it should be. So I'm just going to pull that very carefully off the washi tape and then replace it on. I think what must have happened is when I assembled it earlier, I was doing it on grid paper and all the lines just made my head go weird. But actually putting it on a darker background makes it a bit easier to set up. All right, so I'm going to run this through my machine and see what we have. So I've run it through my machine and I'm just flipping it over to make sure everything is cut well, and very carefully popping out all the sections. Now when you come to take it off the tacky washi tape, just go gently, don't just pull it off, because sometimes the washi tape can be so tacky that it will rip the card. So just be very gentle when you try and get that off, and hopefully all the tape has remained intact because I put that extra bit of brown packing tape across it, and the plastic of the packing tape just gives that extra bit of protection. Okay, that has worked brilliantly. So now I have my matting layer, my piece that I'm going to be doing some stamping on, and then this fabulous frame that I can use later. And then I've just got this spare bit that, I can just put in my stash ready for another day. So I'm going to stamp in very kind of like neutral colours because this is kind of a masculine style card that I'm going for here. So I've got grey granite, and I'm using a combination of stamps from the Gorgeously Made set and also the watercolour world. So I'm just going to stamp a little bit of a kind of faux border around. And so that's in the grey granite. Then I'm going to stamp in the crumb cake. I'm going to do the world map. Now obviously the world map's not going to fit on it exactly that way, so I'm going to do half or partial of one and partial of another section. So I'm just going to pop that on there like so. Then ink up the other half and just pop that in. Actually, I might just do a bit of the top of Iceland as well. Just fit it in there. I tend to work lighter colours to darker when I do this sort of collage style stamping, because I find that if you stamp your light colours last, it may pick up some of the darker colour that you'd already stamped. So here we've got the lovely leaf here, and I'm going to basically have it two coming from the centre of the design like so, and having them splay out like that. The next colour, that was pecan pie. So the next colour I'm going to use is early espresso. And as I'm using early espresso as a matting layer, I just thought it was a nice way to kind of tie it all back in. So I'm using this kind of like textural kind of text stamp just to stick some design in the back. And there you have it for this, for that section of the stamping. So then I'm just going to see what my frame looks like on there. See what that looks like. Okay, that's great. And then what I want to do is stamp a sentiment to go, a nice big bold one to stick on the top of there. So I was going to use the Biggest Wish stamp set, because this has got some really great big bold sentiments, and I'm thinking of stamping it onto some crumb cake and then just cutting it out and then sticking that then like so over the top. So I'm going to stamp with early espresso onto a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I've decided I'm just going to fussy cut them out just to make it a little bit easier. When I say easier, it means that I don't have to get the trimmer out and try and line it all up. So I think this sentiment has got such kind of like loads of different straight lines on it that it's kind of easy to do anyway. So I'm just going to cut down quite closely so I've got a little bit of a margin to my word, but I don't want it to take up lots of extra room, because I still want to be able to see the design of my background that I stamped. So sometimes scissors are just better, just easier. So there we go, got that one there. And I'll cut that down. So as I said, yeah, please do go and check out my blog post. It will have the links to all the other hoppers. So we've kind of merged a couple of different teams. So you may recognise some of the other hoppers from the previous ones that I've done, and there will be some new faces or new folks that you perhaps have not come across, or maybe you have come across them. So there we go. Right, I'm going to go and stick this all together and come back to you. So I've stuck those layers down, but just wanted to tell you that I'm just going to put some dimensionals under there. So I've used these small black ones, and I'm going to do a jaunty angle. I don't always do this, but I feel like it needed it today. And I've also put some of the larger dark black dimensionals on there. So having it as a jaunty angle means that I can do the birthday section straight. Thankfully I've just, you know, put that in the right place, because I was putting it up there earlier, wasn't I? So maybe we could have happy at a jaunty angle then, like so. There you have it, a textured framed card for a kind of masculine birthday. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today, and go and see what all the other hoppers have been up to, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Take care.